everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I wanted to do a bronzy glam look using only drugstore products because I know how expensive it can be to buy makeup. I recently did my makeup course and it was so expensive not only to do the course but to buy all the makeup, and I realized there's really a lot of good high-end makeup, but honestly there's so much good drugstore makeup as well, and I just want to show you guys that you can achieve so many fun, good, and nice wearable looks using drugstore products. And honestly, for the longest time I used mostly drugstore products. Only this year did I really start experimenting using different types of makeup, especially because I knew I was going to do my makeup course, so I wanted to see what else was out there. But honestly, there's some products that I just stick to, and I think I'm always going to stick to certain products at our drugstore because they just work very well and they're affordable. And why not save some money when you can? So for those of you out there who are either on a budget or who just want to kind of try out some more affordable products, honestly, I hope this video helps you guys out. If you guys are new, please subscribe to my channel and join the family. And if you guys have any other questions or thoughts, please leave them down below as well. And without rambling on, let's get into the look.
So I will be starting off today's look with the eyes, and I'm using a medium tan brown shade from the Carli Bybel palette, and I'm going to sweep it across the crease. This is a beautiful transition color that's not too intense to begin the look, and I'll be using this palette for the entire eye look, so if you guys do own it or have something really similar, then it's going to be very easy to recreate the eyes. Now going in with a deep brown shade, I'm going to intensify the crease and place it slightly lower so that both colors peek through, but still focusing it on the crease area. If you look closely, I'm also creating a V-like shape, starting from the outer corner of the lid and working my way back up to the crease, which is really going to help accentuate the outer corner of my eye and add dimension. With a fluffier blending brush, this one is from the Beige Cosmetics Rose Gold Quartz set. By the way, most brushes that I'm using are drugstore as well. Very affordable prices. I got this whole set from Amazon. I'm going to be linking everything down below. This one's from Beige Cosmetics, but I'm going to blend these colors together and diminish any harsh lines that may have been created. Now, usually I do this as a first step, but I forgot, but it's important to clean the brow area and brighten it up so that your makeup looks really good and crisp and clean. So that's what I'm going to do kind of now. I'm just going to take a more precise definer brush and sculpt my brow shape and brighten the brow bone using my concealer. And the drugstore concealer I'm using today is the Revlon Color Stay Concealer in the shade Medium 4. To get a pigmented eye look, it's important to go back in with the colors periodically because as we add and blend colors, we may lose that pigment along the way. So you guys are going to notice me doing that a few times in this look, and right now I'm just re-adding both the tan and dark brown color to the crease to re-accentuate it. Now, using the darker shimmer brown shade from the palette, I'm blending that into the outer corner of my lid and bringing it towards the middle of my eyelid as well to add a bronzier pop of color to the look. And of course, blending that in towards the crease as well so all the colors work together. Now going in with the medium copper shade, I'm concentrating that in the middle of my eyelid and making sure there's a smooth transition between the dark shimmer color that I just put in the outer corner and this shade here. Here, what I'm doing is taking the dark brown shade and extending it outwards to give the illusion that my eyes are lifted. This is the same dark brown shade from the very first color that I use in the look, and it's really going to add drama to the look and give the eye a more exotic goddess type of vibe. And between every color, I'm always blending. It's super important to do that. I may or may not mention it throughout the look, but I'm always kind of going back in with that fluffier brush and working in all those colors together. To add a pop of shimmer and light to the eye, I'm using a lighter shimmer golden color right at the center of the lid and extending it so that my lid is pretty much covered with that color. I'm using a smaller dense brush just to be super precise with this and so that it really picks up that pigment, and I'm dabbing it in there slowly and following my natural eye shape, covering from the inner to outer corner of my lid and staying within the confines of my lid and not extending too much so that we don't cover up the other dark colors that we put on before. For this color, to really make it pop, I'm actually going to spray my brush first using a setting spray and then dipping that into the shade, which is really going to make all the difference when you want that strong, intense pop of color. To give a cleaner, sharp shape to the look, I'm taking a Q-tip with a bit of micellar water on it just to clean off any excess or fallout, and I'm creating a sharp line with this, just following the same line as I would if I were to have a cat eye. Now using a slanted eyeshadow brush, I'm taking that dark brown shade from the palette and accentuating the line just to make it look sharper and give myself a bit more darkness in that area. One more time, I'm going back in with the darker shade and re-accentuating the crease as well. Also, I like to go in with that medium tan color and put a bit on my brush just to give a more seamless and gradual fade to the crease wherever we have the darker shadow. On the lower lash line, I'm going in with the darker brown shade just to match the top, but I will be going back in later on once we are done the face to finish off the lower lash line. Going in with the Beige Cosmetics liquid liner, I'm going to give myself a cat eye. I definitely want to add more drama to this look, and what I like to do for this is kind of make both the tails of the wings on each eye before kind of doing the whole line, just to make sure that they're even and well balanced, and then I do a thin line on the upper lash line to meet with it. I love how pigmented this liner is. It truly does work really well, but it does take some getting used to if you're kind of more used to a more flexible felt tip, because this one is quite stiff and it does require more precision. After priming my face with the NYX Illuminating Primer, I'm going in with the Covergirl Vitalist Elixir Foundation in the shade Buff Beige and dotting that all over my face. I like to start by spreading the product with the foundation brush, but to really blend that in and avoid streakiness, I like to use a damp beauty blender after and really dab that in. And before going in with the beauty blender, I am adding an extra layer since this is more of a glam look and I definitely do want extra coverage. For concealer, I'm using the Revlon Color Stay Concealer in medium 4 and applying that anywhere that I would want extra coverage and brightness on my face. So that includes under the eyes, around the nose, on the chin, and the middle of the forehead mainly. Again, I start by spreading the product with my foundation brush and really blending that in using my damp beauty blender. For extra brightening, I am using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer in Neutralizer 150, which will really bring certain features forward and give a more highlighted effect to the face. To add some dimension and color to the face because I'm looking really flat, I'm using my go-to cream contour stick, and this is the Maybelline Fit Me Stick in the shade 355. I don't think I've ever used another cream contour because the color and blendability and of course price cannot be beaten. I'm applying that straight from the applicator and just blending that in using a slanted dense brush, but you guys can use a beauty blender for this part as well. To set my face and make sure nothing is budging, I'm using my favorite setting powder that's super affordable and in my opinion works wonders. This is the RCMA No Color Powder. On a day-to-day basis, I usually don't bake, but for today, I decided to apply the powder using a flat sponge and kind of baking that area where I applied the concealer to really lock it into place and give a more glam finish. So just waiting about 10 seconds, I do like to sweep that off using a fluffier brush. To lock in that cream contour and add even more depth to my features, I'm using a drugstore contour kit, and this one's from NYX. I truly love this. I'm so used to using my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, which is my holy grail, and I use that every time I go out, but I have to say that this is pretty comparable and is half the price, which is awesome. I'm using the two first shades and basically applying that on my cheekbones, forehead, jawline, nose, and any other area that I want to minimize and kind of add more depth. To add more bronziness, because this is a bronze goddess look, I'm using my NYX matte bronzer in the shade Deep and sweeping that in all the areas that I really want to add even more color. I really do recommend this bronzer. It's a great drugstore product, and I've been using, I'm pretty sure, this bronzer in like every single video I've made on YouTube so far. Since I don't have a drugstore blush color to match this look, I'm just going to use a matte medium tan eyeshadow shade from the Beige Cosmetics Neutrals palette, and I'm sweeping that in on the apples of my cheeks upwards to add an extra flush of color. Finishing off the eyes, I'm just taking that dark brown shade from the Carli Bybel palette and sweeping that on my lower lash line, then adding some of that medium copper shade in with it to match the top of my eye. In the inner corners, I'm going in with the lightest shade in the palette as well and dotting that in to brighten up the whole look. For mascara, I'm using the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara and applying that on the top and bottom lashes. I love the formula here because I just feel like it's super pigmented and doesn't clump up my lashes at all. At this point, I normally put falsies because there are just so many options at the drugstore. That's where I usually get my lashes. But because I do have lash extensions, I will be sticking to mascara. Moving on to lips, I have to give it to ColourPop for making incredible lip products for such an affordable price. These are drugstore prices and they work just as well as some of the more high-end products that I own. So basically, for the lip liner, I'm going in with the shade Chi, which is a medium brown nude type of color, and I'm topping that off with the matching Chi liquid lipstick. The liquid lipstick is actually lighter than the lip liner, so what I like to do is just kind of fill in my entire lip using the darker lip liner and just focusing the liquid lipstick just in the middle to really give myself the illusion of a poutier, fuller lip because I'm focusing the light in the center. For highlight, I'm going back in with the Carli Bybel palette because they have really nice pigmented highlights there. And I'm using the lighter golden color and concentrating that in the areas that I really want to bring forward. So basically above my cheekbones, side of forehead, chin, the bridge and tip of my nose, the cupid's bow, and of course the brow bone. This really just ties together the entire look because when I do think of bronze goddess, I'm thinking of glow. So don't shy away from the highlight here. To add even more of a pop here, you can spray your brush with some sort of spray or water just to really help add even more pigment to the highlight, but I feel like the formula here is really pigmented to begin with, so I skip that step. As a final step, I'm filling in the brows using my Annabelle brow pencil in dark brown. But for those of you guys who don't have access to this product, because I'm not sure if it's a Canadian brand, I also really do like the BH Cosmetics brow pencil. It's slightly waxier, like a little drier to use, but it reminds me a lot of the Anastasia one, and I know how popular that product is. So that is it for today's Bronze Goddess makeup look. I really love how this turned out. It's so bronzy and shimmery and glowy and clean yet glamorous, and I really, really love this. I would definitely wear this for a night out, and I really hope you guys like this as well. Please let me know down below if you guys have any other questions or comments, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye, guys!